Welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. We are continuing with our series today at the table. We've obviously gone through all the other positions so far: fullback, wing, centre, 5'8", halfback, front rower, and our most recent episode was hooker. Today we're getting into the second row forward category, so the four best second rowers since 1998, the NRL era. A lot to get stuck into here. I'm not really sure which direction we're going to go here. I think Matty hooker was probably the most predictable.
Yeah.
This one, I'm all at sea. I don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I had trouble with this one. And I think it's primarily because it's pretty sure in every other position I've at least considered a modern day player.
Yeah.
This I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm all at sea. I think that, as we mentioned in front row forward, the position has changed so much and 2RF has changed. But I think that the guys that are playing today, if they went back 20 years ago, they'd be dominant. I don't think they'd be lights out better than those guys, though.
Yeah.
And I think the guys from 15, 20 years ago, if you put them in today's game, I think they'd well and truly handle themselves. So it's a really interesting one. I probably, before we get into it, I probably lean towards guys that have come and gone realistically over guys that are playing today.
Yep.
Where do you sort of sit?
I'm the same.
The same?
Yeah,
Yeah. There's a couple of guys in the modern game that I'm like, oh, yeah, I can put you in there, but I don't know if you quite stack up next to these guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about them later, but like someone like Kickout comes to mind.
Yes.
He's probably the one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Purely because of his prems as well and how important he was
That's fair.
To Penrith. I don't think there's anyone else.
I've got three names of current players that I think could jump into this crew.
There's some that could get there.
Could, yeah.
But there's a lot to happen.
Yeah, for sure. There's a heap to happen to be able to catch up to some of these guys. So what we're going to do, same as we've done for the last few episodes, we nominate a player. We decide if both of us agree that they should be in the four. Do you want to take the fresh ball?
Sure. I have started, again, I'm all at sea. I don't know if this one's right or wrong, but I'm starting with SBW.
Yeah, he was in mine. I had him at number 2, but I'm more than happy to have him at 1 as well. I think he has to be at the table.
I think as a player, he's definitely number 1, but obviously he jumped in and out of the game.
Yes.
And he didn't play. He played like 120 NRL games.
Yeah.
Plus he didn't play Origin. I know that's not fair, but it is what it is.
I would assume too, those 120 games that he did play, if you went through it, I'm sure probably 30 or 40 of them from the start of his career, I reckon, were at centre. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I might get them up, but I imagine a fair whack of them would have been at centre. But yeah, I just think talent-wise, I think we're starting to see more and more guys like Sonny Bill, but at the time we just hadn't seen something like him before. And I think there's guys that are able to be, you can compare them to SBW, but I still think he is a one of one, the sort of talent they had. I think his ability to be able to go from, the Roosters and winning and walking in and winning a comp there to then going back and starting in the centres for the All Blacks. And just that ability to be able to transition in the midst of that, go and do boxing, that shouldn't add to his credentials as a second row, but I think it just adds to his credentials as an athlete, which separates him from the rest for me.
Definitely. And he was part of and rugby fans don't jump at me if this is wrong, but he was part of that untouchable All Blacks team from the early 2010s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't the guy, but he's still a rare player that played NRL that got into the All Blacks and succeeded.
Yeah,
like him, Brad Thorne's another one, but other than that, there's not many.
Just looked up,
if any.
As a second rower, he only played 90 games. And
that's ridiculous.
5 of them are for Toronto, so 85 NRL games, which is just crazy.
The impact he had was...
The impact is enormous.
Is massive.
I think even just the impact he had on the Roosters arriving back. I think it's James Maloney, Mick Jennings and him that arrived back there. I think influence-wise, I think it's Sonny Bill and James Maloney in different ways. I don't think they win that comp without both of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he was absolutely enormous and just able to do. He was able to do things that we just haven't really seen in the game before. We've seen similar things since, but I don't think we've seen the same thing as Sonny Bill. So I think at worst he is number 2 or number 1. My number 1 that I had on my list, mate, was Boyd Cordner.
Yep.
I find him very, very hard to go past. I think as far as legends of the game, he's a little bit slept on.
He definitely is.
What he did for the Roosters, an enormous career. What he did for the Blues during a really tough time. He was a fantastic leader. I think if you go back to the 2013 NRL premiership, the Roosters grand final. He was ruled out for the season or something.
He was. He was meant to be out for like 12 weeks or something, 6 weeks out of the grand final.
And I think he returned. Did he return for grand final day and started at lock?
Yeah.
He was like 20.
I know. Built
Fucking
different.
unbelievable.
He was training with first grade when he was like 16 years old.
But I remember hearing these rumours of this kid from up Newcastle way coming down, and that he was meant to be the next big thing. And you hear these rumours all the fucking time, and they're just like mythical creatures that lead to nothing. To watch Boyd Cordner come down, dominate, be as young as he was. Yeah, he's the same age as me, born in 92. So in 2013, yeah, he would have been 20 years old.
Ridiculous.
Fucking crazy.
Just a kid from Old Bar.
Yeah.
Just come down and and he was like his career was shortened as a result of how he played. A bit like Sammy Burgess to a degree.
Yes.
Like he put his head in places that no one else would. He's one of the best, if not the best, line runner I've ever seen. He was captain of the Roosters going back to back. He was captain of the Blues going back to back, and that's the only time the Blues have gone back to back since like the early 2000s. Still to this day. Just like his leadership as well is just as important as how good he was. Unbelievable play. He was definitely on my list as well.
I'm just having a look through that 2013 season we spoke about. He got injured in round 22. It was told 12 weeks that he'd be gone for. He returns after about 7 to play in the grand final at lock. The 7 weeks before that, he'd scored 8 tries.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the one thing that summarises Boyd, I think when you look at Sonny Bill, the thing that probably summarises his career is the offload, the shoulder charges, that sort of stuff. Cordner, I still think to this day I've never seen someone take more tough carries out of their own 20
Definitely.
than Boydo. And as you said, his career was obviously brought short simply because he was too tough for his own fucking good.
Yeah.
Absolute weapon, Boyd Cordner, one of the good guys of rugby league as well.
He retired at like age 28 or something.
Yeah. Well, when did he retired in 2020 and he's 33 now.
Yeah.
So he's younger than like Josh Papali'i.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. How much he jammed in there during that period.
Well, he's younger than, he's like Cleary's age basically. Or Turbo's age, sorry.
Like when he retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like Turbo retiring now.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Jeez. Yeah. I think the big thing that sort of slept on in his career is that I believe definitely for New South Wales, he was, and I think it maybe only Alf was the only one that did it, maybe. I'm going to have to look. But to go back-to-back, captain, origin, and club.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I think I do remember that stat being Alf as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Alf that did it 92, 93, or maybe 97, 98. But
it wasn't 92. That's right. But it was Super League, so I was a bit
all over the place. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it's still an incredible achievement, especially after the 8 in a row. He was sort of one of the guys that led us out of that period. Boyd Cordner, I think he's one of the toughest players I've ever seen. Another one, he won Dally M second row of the year once, and I couldn't give less fucks.
I can't believe that. That I wouldn't have. If you asked me how many do you reckon he would have won, I would have said minimum 2.
Yeah.
But I probably would have guessed 3.
Yeah. Incredible player, Boyd Cordner, incredible leader, really good fella. One thing I did find interesting, which I have no recollection of whatsoever, but I was just looking at that 2013 season in round 16, and I don't know if this is something wrong with the stats or not. It says here, Roosters beat the Manly Seagulls 18 points to 12. The Roosters scored 5 tries. Mitchell Pearce kicked 1 goal. Boyd Cordner kicked 1 from 4.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember him trying to kick some from the sideline, just thinking, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I do remember
I
that.
have no recollection of that whatsoever.
Before Sam Walker, the Roosters, they had, here and there, they had a good goal kicker. They had...
Mick Gordon was there for a while.
Yeah, but, he wasn't there for that long. They've been starved of goal kickers, for long periods of times, at times. Now not. Obviously, Sam Walker's a gun. But... yeah, they went through a lot of goal kickers in that era.
How's this one for you? So in that game, Boyd Cordner, he wore jersey 13, but he played on the edge. He had to play on the edge because Sonny Bill Williams played 5'8" that game.
Oh, my God.
The 2 guys that we've listed already, 2 absolute weapons. You got a third one for us?
Just one more thing about Sonnyville I forgot to say. I remember I was in 2013 when he came back, in round 4 or 5 he played the Dogs.
Yes.
Obviously, the Dogs is the team that he left. And throughout the game, they were chanting, Sonny's a wanker, Sonny's a wanker. And then he scored a double. And then the Roosters fans started chanting, Sonny's a rooster, Sonny's a rooster. And I was like, fair play.
That's mad.
That was pretty cool.
Wasn't that just like a fever dream when he came back? That like the energy in the competition.
Do you remember when he did like a voiceover of what his thoughts were going to be as he was running on? And like he was on the bench to start the game.
Yeah.
And then there's that footage of him like with the interchange card in his hand. There's like 20 minutes in. And then it's just him voiceover on Channel 9 going, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that. It's just such drivel. But it's just, it's peak rugby league.
And was it his first game back? It was him versus
That's when Sammy ran over him.
And Sam ran over him and you're like, oh no, is he going to be okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
One of the best matchups I've ever seen in my life, possibly the best, to be honest, was, and Sonny won this one, was 2013 round 26. Winner gets minor premiership, South versus Roosters.
Yeah.
Inglis versus Sonny Bill. Inglis actually started with the points. Like he bumped off Sonny Bill to score and it was a mad try. But then Sonny Bill just turned it on in the second half and he didn't like beat Inglis or anything, but obviously the Roosters won the minor premiership. So he won that battle. It was fantastic to watch. That 13-14 era, it's just selfishly as a South fan when Roosters and Souths were number 1 and 2. Those are my peakies of rugby league.
They were unreal. Just on Sonny Bill as well, I just had all these flashbacks. Like, remember the day he beat the shit out of Phil Bailey at Shark Park? Absolutely. Do you remember when we were kids and there was that footage of him at Redfern Oval playing where he chased the fella, or the guy chased him off the field? And wild. All right, give me a third one. What do you got?
Gordon Tallis, the Raging Bull. Just like built like no one else really. Just you have to be a certain type of person to be nicknamed the Raging Bull. But had a lot of success. I think he won a Clive. Pretty sure he won a Clive.
I think he did.
In 98 maybe. He was in a grand final when he played for the Dragons, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he lost the 93 potentially.
Yeah, that might have been it. Won a few comps with the Broncos. Just, a leader for the Broncos, a leader for Queensland, a leader for Australia. Despised him as a kid, to be honest.
Yep.
But that's points to him because the whole of New South Wales despised him for that reason. And have met him since. He's just not that guy. He's an absolute legend. But one of the most feared men on the rugby league field.
Yeah, so Gordy featured for the Dragons in 92, didn't play in the grand final, lost the grand final in 93. A couple of years later, came up to the Broncos, obviously famously sat out the 1996 season, won the Super League in 97, won the NRL in 98, then in 2000, and then retired at the end of 2004. So what's that, 3 premierships?
Yeah.
Worth noting as well, captain of the Kangaroos as well, so captain of Broncos, Queensland and the Kangaroos. Pretty fucking impressive career. Clive Churchill Medal, as you said, 1998. Dally M second row of the year, 1999. I had Gordy. There's 3 names that I need to fit into 2 spots, and I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
I think Gordy, accolades-wise, probably needs to be there.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be there. So I'm happy to put Gordy in at 3 there. I like that from you. I've got 2 more guys that I want to nominate.
Okay.
First one for me is a guy that cops a lot of stick just because he didn't win an NRL grand final, but mate, Nathan Hindmarsh. I find it very hard to go past Hindy. I think he got to the end of his career and he had a bit of a, the whole flopper and, he's just a defensive workhorse. Early in his career, mate, he was fucking quick.
Yeah.
He was robust. He had everything you need in a modern day second rower 20 years ago. And I think Parramatta just sort of exhausted him out, almost turning him into just a workhorse.
Yeah.
And it was, I felt like it was always a bit of a waste on Hindy.
For sure. And I think, not that he gives a shit, to be honest, but I think being on that show kind of tarnishes his on-field legacy a bit because they take the piss a lot.
I think it tarnishes all of them.
Yeah, it does.
Especially those 2.
They're all good players.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hindy was a legend.
Yes.
Absolute
legend.
And he played 300 games in the forwards when 300 games was pretty rare. One club man, just an absolute beast.
Yeah, I find Hindy very hard to go past. And I guess I'll just throw out my other name that I think should be in this conversation. Funnily enough, he's on that show with him, not Fletch, Menzies.
So Menzies was my last pick.
Yeah, okay.
I had him over Hindmarsh, to be honest.
Yeah, right. I mean, Steve Menzies, and obviously Menzies is one of those guys that he did a lot before 1998. He did a fuckload after 1998 as well. But his career is just so incredible. What did he play? Like 500 or 600 games across both the NRL and the Super League. It's just unbelievable
I think it
how
was,
many games of footy he played.
500-ish.
So if you have a look at him, he played 280 games for the Manly Seagulls, plus he played 69 games for the Northern Eagles, so 349 NRL games. Absolutely incredible effort. Started in 1993, won a few comps in the 90s, obviously then returned to the Manly Seagulls, won the comp in 2008. I was lucky enough to be there for that one. He scored an incredible try at the back end of it, but to be a second rower and score 180 NRL tries, I just don't know if I can walk past
It's
that.
the most mind-blowing statistic, I reckon, of the lot. Like, he's a freaking forward.
Yeah.
And he's got 180 NRL tries.
And like, people will say, he played a bit of centre. It's like, okay, sure. He played 57 games at centre. He scored 24 tries. He played 272 games in the back row and scored 162 tries. If anything, playing centre hindered him.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking help him.
Yeah.
He was an absolute freak. He played 120 games in the lock forward role as well. Like even 26 games at 5'8", he scored 16 tries. He just knew how to sniff out a meat pie.
If you add in his rep tries and his Super League tries, he's got another 75. He's got 250 tries.
Just absolutely insane. To play professionally from 1993 to 2013.
Yeah.
That's literally 20 years of doing the damn thing.
So 95, he scored 22 tries. 22 tries. 96, he scored 20 tries. And 98, he scored 20 tries. Wow. He scored 20 tries, 20 plus tries 3 times, and he was a freaking forward.
Yeah, it is just hard to deny, isn't it? I think Tallis, Hindmarsh, Menzies, you need 2 out of the 3. I do, as much as, I feel terrible saying this, I do think it probably is the premierships that maybe just knock Hindmarsh out of it, unfortunately.
It makes me sick, but he misses out by a whisker.
Yeah, I think Hindmarsh all of a sudden becomes chair number 5. Incredibly unlucky to miss out, but I just don't know how you can go past what Tallis achieved, captain of Australia, Queensland, premierships that he won, a Clive Churchill medal, all that shit has to matter. And Bevo, obviously numerous premierships that he won, but then just his try-scoring record for a guy that shouldn't be scoring tries, just fucked up.
It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't leave him out.
So we've got Hindy at number 5. As the unlucky one there. Just whilst we're at it, we've obviously mentioned, it's funnily enough, Tallis, Hindmarsh, Menzies, all these guys that now work on that same fucking show. Fletch, I think there's an argument that Fletch had the highest ceiling of them all.
Yeah.
Like he was such a freak, Brian Fletcher, but with all due respect, came over to South Sydney at a very tough time. That killed him. Yeah. Before that, he was an absolute juggernaut, Fletch. All those stories about when he was growing up that he just didn't take it seriously. The Roosters had to pull him into line so many times. And, as soon as they tried to sack him, Phil Gould went, nah, he's coming to first grade with me. So instead of getting sacked, he got elevated. It's a wild fucking trip, the career of Brian Fletcher. A very good player.
And he got sacked for tackling
Rocky the Rooster.
Mascot. And he broke one of his back. I reckon on that show, they're all talented, obviously.
Yeah.
But Matty and Fletch, on-air talent beats their on-field talent.
Yes.
Whereas the other two is the opposite.
The other two is the opposite, yeah. I completely agree. And Hammy's just neither of either. Shout out to him, Lisa. So they are our 4. Cordner, Sonny Bill, Tallis, Steve Menzies, Nathan Hindmarsh, very, very unlucky to miss the table there. If he has a premiership next to his name, I probably have to put him in, I think.
Yeah.
I think I've got to find a spot for him somewhere. And another one, we mentioned it with Jared Hayne that in 2009 obviously lost a grand final to a Melbourne Storm team over the cap. So have to take it into consideration for Hindy as well. I think Hindy as well, a super coach goat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
My God. Got through some work.
What about current players?
I have 3 names here that I think have the potential to jump into this echelon, but that I couldn't put them on the same tier as Hindmarsh, despite some of them having better accolades. Eli Katoa.
Yep.
Liam Martin.
Yep.
Kickout.
Yep.
In no order, just those 3.
Yeah. I'd probably go Kickout number 1. Like, obviously Katoa's more skillful than Martin, but Martin's just, He's just a runs on the board guy without looking at the stat sheet.
Yeah. He's an eye test guy. He's a Clive Churchill medalist. He's a 4-time premiership winner. It's very hard to walk. Like, there's an argument he's got the most impressive NRL portfolio of all these guys.
Yeah.
Boy Cordner included.
Big time.
4 premierships at Clive. He's the only one of those. Oh, sorry. Tallis has a Clive, but it's not nothing.
He's so unique, Liam Martin.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no one else like him, really.
No.
He's just a dog.
And I think he's the most, like, he would have played the same 15 years ago and been as effective.
Yeah. He'd drop him in any era. He'd
be fine.
Yeah.
He would be absolutely fine.
I think on, like, purely on potential, you've got people like Hamole.
Yep.
If Fafita can pull it together, like, he's only 24.
Yes. I think guys like Angus, Huddy, that have obviously been good for a couple of years. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that I'm missing here. It's been a number of guys like over the last 20 years that I think are probably good enough to be like Luke Lewis to me.
Wade Graham.
Fucking amazing. Wade Graham was another cracker. Yeah, there's been a lot of, even like, I know his career got cut short, but Matt Gillette.
Yep.
It's one of the better back rowers I've ever seen.
Big time.
A lot of guys that could be in that echelon. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with, I'm not happy about Hindy, but I get it.
I wish it was a 5.
Yeah, if it was a 5, it's a no
perfect.
Conversation. It's a go home early kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that for Cordner. Are we happy with this order? Cordner or SBW 1 and 2?
Oh, I'd SBW first.
Yeah, I won't push back on that. So SBW 1, Cordner 2, Tallis 3, Beaver 4, and Hindmarsh the unlucky man at 5 with Kickow. Probably the next man up, in our opinion.
Like it.
How good. Stay tuned over the next few days, guys. We will have our lock forward. We've only got a few more of these to go. Lock forward and potentially coach. We'll let you know how we are travelling on that front. But thanks for joining us once again on the Rugby League Guru podcast.